Hello everybody, let's check out this game between Frank Marshall. Marshall Frank is a very good player, and also the black is played by Emmanuel Lasker. He's one of the world champions. He is a second world champion after William Stein. Now let's see. This game is played in on 1907. Now let's see, black is played by Lasker and white is played by Marshall. Now e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, going for royal of pitch, and knight f6. Generally, you will have a6 variation, and bishop a4 or bishop takes pawn, which is an exchange variation. And There are a lot of variations in royal of pitch. Now knight f6, white played d4, pawn takes d4, white castles, and here there are mm, white is not taking the pawn, he is castling. Now black played bishop e7. Of course, now you can argue with that if you can play, say, something like bishop to uh, c5, you can defend the pawn. But even though now you can't take the pawn readily, now you have to play e5, pawn to, if knight goes here, uh, if h3, and if knight, pawn takes knight, knight takes and rook e1, and you are having a problems for black. So instead of knight g4, if you go knight e5, knight d5, pawn c3, simply you can win back. I mean, if you take it, you are losing that knight. If you play something like any other move, you are just going to take the pawn. Yeah. Now, okay, let's see what happened. He played bishop e7 rather than bishop c5. Now, so he knows probably that is not going to, you don't need to defend this pawn, no need to defend this pawn, and castle, preparing for castling e5 and knight to e4. Okay, knight to e4, knight takes d5, knight takes d4, castles, knight f5, knight f5, pawn to d5, and bishop takes c6, pawn takes c6. Now you can see already white has some problem. He have to move the knight, and you can see already black is doing better because all the black pieces are knight is in a good position, and bishop is in e7, and when one more bishop going to probably come to bishop to a6, and definitely black is looking better. Now he trades one of the bishop. Now queen takes, and rook e1. Now you cannot take it because of simple pawn is c3. Now this uh, knight will be underpinned, so you can't take that pawn. So black played queen to h4, bishop to e3, pawn to f6. Okay, pawn to f6, pawn to c f3. Now here this is the position. Now black have played a brilliant move, sacrificing the center knight. Now pawn takes pawn, he is simply giving up that, and you can see after bishop pawn to d4, now black cannot play bishop to d2. If you play bishop to d2, queen to g4 is a threat, and if you go to c1, now rook to f2. F2 is a very good move, occupying the rank of second rank. And if you go to bishop to g4, and there is a brilliant move, rook takes pawn and takes it, bishop here, and simply now he's going to do checkmate. If you defend the checkmate, simply queen c3 check, and rook to g2 and queen takes g2 checkmate is possible. Now, okay, so yeah, now instead of here, if you play rook bishop to c1 instead of bishop d2, if you play c1, now let's see what happens. c1, again queen f2 check, king moves, and bishop to g4 with the same threat. You have to move the, if queen d2 is played, simply you can simply do a back rank checkmate. Yeah, and now, okay, let's go back and see what white played. White played g3, pawn g3, and queen to f6. So he thought he is behind. So white thought he is behind that development, you can see. So he offers to sacrifice the bishop back and try to speed up his um, you know um, development. Now bishop takes pawn, pawn takes bishop, and queen f1, sorry, queen b queen f1, rook f1, queen takes, rook takes. Now since black is not a piece behind, he is exchanging all his pieces and takes it. Now rook b1 attacking on b7, b pawn. It is not only moving the rook to just attacking b2 pawn. He want to shift the rook to b4 and shift it to h5. That could be the plan. Yes, now black responded the same way which we are anticipating. Now with rook to b5 and pawn to c4. Now see, you can see by playing pawn c4, you can simply making the center d4 pawn as a passer pawn. Now rook to h5 and shifting the rook where there is some weaknesses, and where is now king to g1, bishop, now pawn protecting his own center passer with c5, and bishop to knight to. Now see, you can see that knight have developed on 23rd move, and king on f7, rook on f1 check, king centralizing itself on e7, and pawn to a3. Now next is rook to f6, trying to exchange the rooks probably, and h5, maybe h5 is, I don't know how far h5 is accurate, because probably king should come forward. That could be the accurate move. That rook shifted towards the attacking on attack on a3, pawn to a, rook to a1, and defending the pawn. Bishop to g4, very good move, that not allowing the knight to come in. Simply king to g2, king to e6. Now king to e6, a4. Now king to e5. Now you can't simply play knight f3 check, you will lose the pawn on e4. Now king on g2, king on g2. Rook f6 is a very good move, not simply occupying the f3 f file. Now rook to e1, defending the pawn. I don't know, rook e1 looks useless, because I have nothing you can do by defending this thing. Probably why he is defending it, because he may push the pawn, and king may enter into d4. Okay, now let's see, that is what the idea is. Pawn d3, king d4 is the idea. So rooks are exchanged. This is the ideal time to exchange the rooks. Black have exchanged it. Black is ready to exchange, so he played king to king to d4. Now rook takes it, pawn takes it. Now still they you can see very the king is very deadly in the d4 in the center, and white is suffering from space. And he white have to counter the center d3 passer pawn, and king can simply come over to e3 or c3, and the position is terrible for white already. Now king to c king to e3, king to e3. Now pawn to c6. I think why not you know king to c3 probably. But anyway, he played a waiting move. Probably he will come make some waiting moves here. Pawn to a5, pawn to a5, a5, pawn to a6. So now there are not much pawn moves for white. He can play the pawn on h4, but it is going to be killed by the bishop. And now knight to c3, cutting off the knight to b1, cutting off the square for c3 for king. King takes pawn. Now this is how the end game follows. Bishop to bishop to c2, and king here check. King can go here, and knight goes to again to c b1. Now he is marching the pawns. Knight to again. Now we can't don't have now slowly it is into zugzwang. Now king can simply take all these pawns, even though black can take white can take some of the black pawns on the queen side, but it is looks too late. Now simply this is all over for white. So this is how now black white have resigned. So you can from this game we can simply understand how you can develop quickly, and you should sacrifice timely, and you can simply win the games. Thank you.